Dago to tip it off tonight. And all the way back to Jizzle James. Bearcats possession to open up the 24-25 season. There's Lukosius. Reached 1,000 career points at the tail end of last season. The transfer from Butler, his second year with Cincinnati. Mitchell now, his first year in the Queen City from Texas. And his shot deflected by Lewis. There's that interior presence. Turnaround shot for Skillings didn't go either, and a good stand from Arkansas-Pine Bluff. Well, the starting lineup for the Golden Lions is Moore, Reinhardt, Lewis, Brown, and Bolton. A whole new look starting five for Solomon Bozeman, who's in his fourth year at the helm of the Arkansas-Pine Bluff Golden Lions. 8 to shoot for Moore. Brown, a good pass down low, and Bolton lays it in. A good cut to the basket for 2. Now Cincinnati rolls out this starting five. James, Skillings, Lukosius, Mitchell, and Bandago. James the turnaround, and that rattles out. Bandago battles for it, and out of bounds off of Brown. He tried to save it.
Basketball is back. You know, the Clifton faithful are excited about this, and Arkansas-Pine Bluff, even though they have a lot of new faces, they're dynamic in how they put together their team and how they score.
James off the front of the rim, doesn't go, but a foul on the rebound. It's going to stay at this end. They get Bolton under the basket, the transfer from Charleston Southern. How about that cut Bolton had at the offensive end, Terry? Nice little play for the deuce down low.
Yeah, caught Simas trying to fight through the screen. This team's going to execute. Last year in the SWAC, they were #1 in three-point percentage, #1 in scoring as well.
Lukosius fights through traffic and lays it in for the first Bearcats points of the year.
Right back at you, ain't cheating. That's exactly what he said. Give me my 2 back.
Here's Reinhardt. He's really taken on a leadership role this season with so many losses offensively for the Golden Lions. And he's a shooter, too. Passes this one off. Lewis. That's too long. Good box out by Mitchell down low for the Bearcats rebound. All right, Terry, your notes for Cincinnati to come away with a win tonight.
First of all, bob and weave. You got to make sure that you bob and weave. You're going to take some of these blows right now, so you got to make sure you do that. Don't take them all. And then hit back. If you know Cincinnati's going to bring it to you, make sure that you get some threes. Make sure you attack them. You're just not going to take all these blows.
A nice move for Christian Moore there. He's going to be at the center of it for Arkansas-Pine Bluff. Terry, what are their keys?
Well, they got to bring the pain. They have to realize that this team right now, they're going to look for some early offense, but they're going to have to go and give some body blows to this Bearcats team. And then also they're going to have to open the gates and get out and run. Last year they averaged 81 points per game. They're trying to do the same thing this year. Now they gave up about 82 points per game, but they want to make sure that they can get this, turn this into a track meet.
No, they're hanging right in there right now on the back of Christian Moore, the North Texas transfer, a very skilled guard. Only 5'11", but he gets downhill very well. Mitchell off the front of the rim from 3, and the rebound to Brown. Christian Moore played at North Texas. He was an NIT champion, played behind some very good guards. And showing out now at Arkansas-Pine Bluff. That one is turned over by Brown, and a foul in transition. They get Bolton, that's his second foul. You got to look at Wes Miller, his 4th year with Cincinnati. Last year, the first year in the Big 12, a 22-15 record. Overall, he has won more than 60 games in his first 3 seasons with Cincinnati. And Solomon Bozeman, his 4th year as well with Arkansas-Pine Bluff. He's mostly proud of the reputation that the Golden Lions have built for a SWAC school, a mid-major. They have a reputation of getting guys workouts at the NBA Combine, getting guys contracts overseas. He called it breaking barriers, Terry. They've done well.
He was a very, very good player himself, and he understands how to push the limits of his players to maximize their ability.
Dribble handoff here for Hickman, the transfer from Bradley. Dump down low, Mitchell trying to take the baseline, cut off there, and almost turned over. Moore got his hand on it.
And that's what you get when you get new players along with the older players, the returning players for the Bearcats. You're trying to get chemistry. And Mitchell pivoted, and he expected the drift to the corner of Jizzle James, and it just didn't connect.
10 to shoot, Lukosius off the screen. Finds Bandago rolling, and a foul. Never really got that catch clean because Lewis was there to greet him, and gets called for the reach.
Aziz Bandago on the roll. Good pass by Simas Lukosius. gets whacked on the arm. Last year during the Dayton game, he hurt his back, just sort of spasmed up, and he played pretty much the entire rest of the season, including the Big 12, getting therapy every day on that back. He says he's healthy this year.
Last year, about 6 points per game, 7 rebounds. Missed time with that back injury, as you mentioned, and also the first 4 games of the year he could not play while he was awaiting his transfer waiver to clear, coming over from Utah Valley, where he was the WAC Defensive Player of the Year. Goes 1 of 2 at the line, and a foul called on a reach.
And I asked him about that. I said, look, you go from blocking 104 shots at Utah Valley and only 46 last year. And he goes, I could barely move in the paint. So there were times he would just settle for getting the rebound instead of going for the block.
Lukosius got called for that foul. There's more again. He got bumped, but no whistle. 1 and done for Arkansas-Pine Bluff. Here comes James. Extra pass, Hickman. His first bucket is a Bearcat.
Wes Miller clone. Looks like him, shoots like him. He's got one of the quickest hairpin trigger releases for the Bearcats.
Now Lewis really improved his range over the offseason, knocks in the 3 for the Golden Lions.
And he wipes the sweat off of his mouth and points at Aziz Bandego and says, take that.
James lobs it up, and a good catch and finish from Bandego.
There's a lot of get back in this. What a start for both teams.
1 point game, 4 minutes in. Reinhardt trying to work on Hickman. And Hickman, the good defense, knocked it out of bounds. It'll be Arkansas-Pine Bluff basketball when we get back. But a good start, fun and exciting in the season opener. Hickman, the corner 3, his first bucket in Cincinnati. And the catch and finish from Aziz Bandego. Bearcats by 1 early. Copy that. Kelsey, you got us?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Gotcha.
Yes.
Let's give this big group a big round of applause.
Awesome, thank you so much. And again, if you're looking to have your best Bearcat year, don't forget to check out those bookstores and all the brand new renovations.
Once we get them in a weekly summit, and they're not as deep, so we'll come in pretty soon. Thank you.
Back here in Cincinnati, the Bearcats lead it by 1. Both teams entering the season with injury concerns, and Kelsey Conway has updates.
Hey guys, yeah, you will not see Day-Day Thomas for the Bearcats tonight as he is dealing with the stress reaction on his foot. Coach Wes Miller called him day-to-day at the moment. And for the Golden Lions, you will not see Trajan Ware out there tonight after suffering a torn ACL in practice in September, and he will now miss the rest of the season. Guys?
Thank you, Kelsey. Trajan Ware, that's a big loss for Arkansas-Pine Bluff. Terry, we've talked about it. They already lost so much, and then they lose their floor general, their point guard, just a couple of weeks leading up to the season. That was a big loss for this Golden Lions team.
he's the assistant coach on the floor, but now he's the assistant coach on the bench, as the coach told us that he is going to give him a button-down shirt or a polo and turn him into an assistant coach.
That's a nice play out of the timeout, and Dante Sawyer lays it in for Arkansas-Pine Bluff to retake the lead. Pass down low to Mitchell. He got bumped, and that's a foul on Lewis, and that's his second. So Bolton has 2, Terry. Lewis has 2. For a team that's already a little bit undersized, they're losing some of their top front court guys early with a couple of fouls.
Yeah, you can anticipate this team will play a zone here pretty soon if they continue to chip away with fouls down low, the Bearcats meaning.
Well, Solomon Bozeman realizing how important Lewis is. He's going to keep him out there with the 2 fouls.
Tipped.
Had a good contest on that 3 from Lukosius, but Jizzle James, right place, right time for the potential and 1.
Jizzle James is comfortable around the basket. As that shot went up, one of those guards should have been getting back on defense, but instead he goes for the offensive rebound and just gets pushed ever so slightly on the play by Christian Moore. Jizzle James with the left-hand finish around the basket.
He should have been going back for defense, but it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission, right, Terry?
That's right.
I'm sure Wes Miller will take it. He misses the back end of the N1. Rebound to Reinhardt. Christian Moore orchestrating this offense with no Trajan Ware. He's done well in the early going. There's Vuga, the Monmouth transfer, adding a little height to that front court. Then to shoot for Reinhardt. Down to 5 now. Reinhardt's got to think about a shot. And way off. Never hit the rim, and even though Vuga had the good effort, that's a shot clock violation.
Did you see how far the Bearcats pushed the defense out? About 6-7 feet away from the three-point line.
Now, Arkansas-Pine Bluff, for those who are not familiar, is located in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Enrollment of just over 2,800. They won the SWAC recently as 2010, mascot the Golden Lions. But only about 30 minutes away from where that man, Solomon Bozeman, went to school. You mentioned it, Terry, a very good player, All-American at Little Rock as a player, Sun Belt Player of the Year in his day. Good cut to the basket, didn't go down though for the cutting Arrington Page.
He's got to dunk that.
Moore, too strong off the window. Lukosius, good defense from Reinhardt to cut him off. Lukosius, great spin, better finish.
Baby Luka. He doesn't like the name, but the game is pretty much the same. Then he gets that ball and steal from Page.
Hickman passed up the 3, takes it in, and contorts to lay it in. Wow, what a move.
Come on, fresh out of Hoosiers. Catches it instead of the catch and pull up from 3. Catches it and wipes it. He drills it. Look at this post up right now, off the glass. And then Hickman catches it, puts it up with the left hand, legs kicked and contorted.
I thought you said he was a shooter, Terry. He took it inside there.
Well, that's what everybody else thought as well. He's going to shoot. And he just catches it, wipes it, goes to the basket. There's no rim protection there. Your bigs have 2 fouls, so you don't want to do that. You don't want to go for it and risk getting the 3rd one so you can seat the basket.
Now, the number 20 team in the nation up by 5. Arkansas-Pine Bluff just called the timeout. We mentioned it, start of the broadcast. First time entering a season ranked in 7 years. You got to go back to Mick Cronin's time at Cincinnati. He's now at UCLA. But the season recap from last year, a good year, 20 wins in the Big 12, 7 in conference play, lost in the NIT quarterfinals to Indiana State. This team really excelled at rebounding, Terry. Top 20 in the nation in rebound margin, and they led the Big 12.
The first time ranked since 2017-18. That team, you guys remember, set the Bearcat record for wins, 31-5. Gary Clark, Jaron Cumberland, Jacob Evans, and Trey Scott. Those pretty good names to remember.
Now this group hoping that they become that next core. Double team at half court to the Skillings jam.
Spontaneous traps. Turn your back, run and jump by Skillings with the poke away and the slam dunk.
Skillings on the board, his first points. Catch and shoot Sawyer, way long, and Skillings has it. Mitchell changes direction, couldn't get it to go.
He's dynamic that way. They have 5 guys on the floor now, including Arrington Page, that can grab the rebound, push it up, even with traffic.
Moore off the mark from 3, and Jizzle James has the rebound. Good pass up ahead to Skillings, found himself open for the lay-in.
He's so gangly, he loses balance, but he doesn't fall.
A lot of the scouting report, Terry, for Wes Miller and the Bearcats was talking about the transition offense for Arkansas-Pine Bluff. Right now, it's their transition defense that's killing them.
Well, you talk to this team, this Bearcats team talks about being great as three-point shot is banked in.
That was Clement Vuga.
With the Vuga, that's a name. That you just coined that phrase for a bank-in shot.
From Slovenia. Skillings will try the answer, and he's got it.
A lot of get back. Both teams got some get back today. But Wes Miller talks to his team every day in practice about wanting to be great. Not just be a good team, not just be a team that makes the NCAA tournament. He talks about greatness, and this team is buying in.
Vuga, no, he passes it up. Good cut, Sawyer. First one, no. Second try, yes, on the tip for Dante Sawyer.
And Wes Miller is really upset with Arrington Page. Skillings.
Now trying to get things sorted out in the first game of the season. So far, so good for Cincinnati. Skillings the jam. There at the bottom, a big rebounder. And Solomon Bozeman told us this team, he likes it, but it's going to have to be unselfish. Everybody's going to want to prove themselves to earn more playing time. Who should be in the rotation, who shouldn't be in the rotation, but it needs to be an unselfish group and play for each other, considering how much they lost.
Well, you talk about losing Rashad Williams, who was a Box Toro HBCU second-team All-American last season. You lose that production. You're averaging 81. You were also first in the conference in three-point defense as well as three-point percentage offense. Now you got to replace that production.
Page flying up and laying it in. And that doesn't even include Terry Trajan Ware, who we talked about, their point guard that was supposed to take over that spot this year, out for the season with the torn ACL. So you really factor in about 6 guys that are gone for Arkansas-Pine Bluff.
And this happened 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So you're all off season. You're like, okay, we got a bunch of new guys. We're going to get them going. I have my leader on the floor to get them all organized, and then he tears his ACL.
Catch and shoot C.J. Frederick, and he's done that for 7 years now. I beg your pardon, that is Hickman. Frederick's one heck of a shooter, too. He's on the floor for the first time, but Hickman knocked that one down. My apologies. Good swat up top. Here is C.J. Frederick for Cincinnati. I mentioned the 7 years. C.J. Frederick, his 7th season of college basketball, the 5th oldest player in the country. Started his career at Iowa, then Kentucky, and now his 2nd year at Cincinnati.
That's Uncle C.J.
He fed the post here for Page. The turnaround rolls in.
Arrington Page, we talk about his skill level. He's just tapping the surface of his greatness, and Wes Miller is trying to wring every ounce of potential out of this young man.
Extra pass, Brown for 3. Yep.
Let it fly.
Kyle Brown, Solomon Bozeman told us he's such a skilled player in the post, but knocking that one down from 3, the transfer from Indian River Community College.
Yeah, he shot 41% from 3 in JUCO, so he can put it up.
Bad pass there, down low, leads to the turnover. Golden Lions, this is where they want to thrive in transition. And Raphael Dumont, a Quebec native, got hacked on the way through.
He just kept pushing. Nobody stopped the ball. C.J. Frederick was looking for help. They're supposed to build a wall. Came right by C.J. Frederick as Hickman and Page exit the game.
Fandango and James come back in for Cincinnati. Moore off the screen, trying to hop his way through. That one won't go. Moore started this game so hot. Now he forces a turnover and ripped it away from Fandango. Good spin, Brown, but Fandango swats it anyway. Skillings lines up the 3. Body's tangled up down low. Skillings followed his shot for the second chance point.
Such a greedy score. He had 2 guys in there already with rebound position. He goes in there, hustles, snatches the ball away, and puts it up himself.
Moore trying to attack downhill again. Reinhardt is blocked by Skillings. He was on the baseline, but boy, he got up there.
There's only 2 guys I know for Cincinnati. Look at this corner 3 right here. He misses it, goes in there, grabs his own, gets fouled, puts it up off the glass. Kenyon Martin, Gary Clark are the other two, and both were pretty good. Both were player of the year in conferences. You get that block shot, Skillings off to a good start so far.
You know what that reminded me of, Terry? The Hakeem Warwick block in 2003 against Kansas for Syracuse.
Come on.
En route to winning the national championship. Of course, that was much higher stakes for Warwick. That shot is off the mark for Lewis, who's still playing with the 2 fouls for the Golden Lions.
Uncle CJ with the rebound.
James, up fake, doesn't get the roll.
Bunnies got right there. Look at the pace. They want to play with speed.
Moore, little fancy.
Yeah, that's a carry.
Is out of bounds.
They're going to call a double dribble, which is a carry. Hand on the bottom of the ball, reach to the top of the ball. Automatic carry, unless you're in the NBA.
A lot of things they get away with in the NBA.
You get an extra step and a half. It used to be just an extra half a step.
Times have changed.
One of the most improved players for the Bearcats, Josh Reed, got a post-up game. Very good offensive rebounder, solid defender. He has grown. He's also a guy that will be the toughness of this team from the wing position.
That's really where Reed comes in, that toughness in the defense. They don't need him to score a ton with so many options. But that defense, he came into games late last year as that defender late in contests. Long 2 for Jizzle James.
Mid-range, that's his game. You know, Rick Pitino would tell you the worst shot in basketball is your feet on the line. But any shot that goes in is a pretty good shot.
Good backdoor cut and the lay-in. There's Bolton, who's back in with 2 fouls.
Great movement. They run great stuff. They just got to continue to plug away at it.
Yeah, they've had a lot of really good cuts to the basket. There's a foul away from the ball, and if that's Lewis, that's 3. And it is. Well, he's had a couple tonight that he's been a bit confused about, Terry, but that's now 3 fouls nonetheless.
And Aziz Bandaogo looks at the official and says, how come you guys can't go and look at that? He threw the elbow at me, and Aziz Bandaogo had a lot of those calls in his favor last year because he initiates it, he throws those elbows out there, and then when you hit him back, he wants to call as well.
That's a big loss, likely for the rest of this first half for the Golden Lions. 3 for Lewis. Good unselfish pass to set up Bandaogo. Frederick found him.
Great 2-man game. ATO. Almost another carry. Look at Josh Reed.
Still finds its way to Brown. Needs some help. Sawyer, floater. Yes, off the window.
Oh, come on. Going to the left. Threw it up in and off the glass. Impressive finish by Sawyer.
Frederick, he'll take this one. His first shot a little long. Reinhardt the rebound. Chance for Arkansas-Pine Bluff here to get back within 10 with a 3. Instead, it's inside. Reinhardt, crafty off the window, but it rolled off.
Good contest there by Skillings. Rim run by Aziz Bandaogo. There's no answer for him. He runs paint to paint, rim to rim. They find him and he catches and finishes.
Lead back to 15 for Cincinnati. That's good. Caleb Jones, the freshman, All-State in Georgia. His first bucket of his career.
The great equalizer, when you're outmanned, that 3 ball can make up for a couple of possessions that you go blank. Knocks it down.
That could be a guy that helps fill the void of Trajan Ware this season for Arkansas-Pine Bluff.
Oh, wow.
Too strong for James. Long rebound out to Reinhardt. A couple of stops here, Terry. A few makes. Arkansas-Pine Bluff right back in this first half after they weathered the Cincinnati run earlier in this half.
Yeah, I'm impressed with their ability to fight. Look at that.
There's Brown. It's back to a 10-point game and another timeout for Cincinnati. And we'll take it to 6:07 to go in the half. 10-point game in Fifth Third Arena. Cincinnati up by 10.
Join Cincinnati football in 2020.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
I thought they were doing that one.
Kelsey, you want to take it? Do you know it enough?
We can do it if you want to. If you want to do it.
You guys can go ahead. I'm trying to get over to their huddle.
All right. See if you can get anything. If you have something, we'll take it from you, or we'll give it to you. I mean. Copy that. Kelsey, if you get anything, let us know.
I'm getting over there right now.
I screwed up Hickman and Frederick. I mean, other than a couple inches, they look exactly the same.
They do.
Same stroke, same build.
Yes.
Is it going to be promo right out of break, or do you want me to do score first? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Feeling good and hungry here at Pittsburgh Arena. So how about a little delivery from our friends at Skyline?
Got to make sure you get both goats in the same household.
Jordan, obviously Solomon Bozeman, a biblical name, went with the middle name Jordan to represent the Jordan River, so sticking with the biblical roots. His family has done that for the last couple of generations. His group has made 4 out of their last 5 shots. It's a 10-point game in Cincinnati. Dylan Mitchell trying to bounce off the defender, couldn't bank it in. And a foul, it'll stay at this end as Josh Reed went tumbling to the ground. I beg your pardon, Arrington Page on the floor for Cincinnati.
A lot of big bodies in there. Turnaround jump shot, no good. Jumped over Page. Luckily, he didn't step on Page. Page should go up to him and maybe shake his hand and buy him a Coke after the game. This young man transferred from USC. Talented player.
On the 1-and-1, it rattles out. Vuga the rebound. And a whistle.
Shot clock.
Clock violation. Or a clock miscue.
Hey, it's the first game for everybody.
It is. A chance to make this single digits for Arkansas-Pine Bluff with 5:43 to go in the first half. See that speed for Christian Moore. That's why Cincinnati comes out to double him so heavily. Mitchell got his foot in the way. I don't think he played soccer at Texas either, but he would have been pretty good at it.
The Bearcats are shooting 55% from the floor and 43% from 3. And they're holding Arkansas-Pine Bluff to 46% from the field, but Arkansas-Pine Bluff is also 44% from downtown.
That'll lower the percentage a little bit. Moore couldn't find the range. Mitchell trying to streak his way in, but lost it. Reinhardt the steal. 2-on-2 going forward. Sawyer couldn't get it to go, but he'll head to the line. Dante Sawyer's played quite the first half. North Idaho Community College transfer. He was an all-conference first-teamer at the JUCO level. And he's put in quite the first half here. Chance to add on to his 6 points.
Yeah, leading scorer so far for the team. In transition, he's dynamic, and they understand they got to get out and run. They can't sit and play half-court defense against the stingy Bearcat defense with the trees they have on the inside. So in the open court, it's fair game.
We asked Wes Miller, how do you scout a team with so much new for Arkansas-Pine Bluff? And he said it's almost impossible. You're going in blind for the most part. But he said what we do know, what we're confident about, is this Golden Lions group is going to play fast. They're going to shoot a ton of threes. The transition offense is their focal point. They're going to get to the rim, and we're going to have to get back well defensively. That time they didn't. Sawyer makes the 2 free throws, and it's an 8-point game. That shot will not count.
Offensive
and an
foul
offensive
on the screen.
foul. So right on it.
They get Arrington on the screen. It's a fade play. They throw it back to the top. The wing player slides down to the baseline, and you get a bump screen by the post player on the opposite side. But when the player tries to go above that screen and you slide, it's an automatic block.
Arkansas-Pine Bluff making a bit of a run into the first half. Moore, spin, short-armed it. Hickman, the excellent box out, taps it over to Tyler Betsy. Hickman. He's made a couple of threes early in this first half. Lukosius. Yes.
Wasted notes. Give me the ball. Get out of the way. 41% from downtown last year. 3 buzzer beaters for the Bearcats.
In a season in which he got hit by a car and missed a couple of games, but still ended up having a very good first season with Cincinnati.
Yeah, he got better as he got hit by the car. So
Buga falling down, flipped it up, and drew the foul.
I mean, watch how quick this shot goes up. As soon as he catches it, feet are already prepared. Get a little bend in the knees to get the arc on it, and lets it fly.
Started his career at Butler, shy of 12 points per game last year. Dual citizen, Germany and Lithuania.
Dad coached in 7 different countries.
Mr. Worldwide. Pitbull has some competition. First shot is short for Buga. Played at Monmouth, had a career high 29 points against North Carolina A&T during his time at Monmouth. Bandego comes back in, and Page gets the breather.
Bearcats just continue to shuffle players in and out, keeping them fresh. Wes Miller likes 2 to 3 minutes at a time, playing at your optimum level, and then when you start to, your peak performance starts to dip a little bit, he likes to keep them fresh. And then about the last 10, in between that 5 to 10 minute mark, he starts settling into the guys that he thinks gives him the best chance to close this game out.
Especially the longer that Arkansas-Pine Bluff keeps this game close. I have to figure that Cincinnati, in order to avoid a potential upset tonight, is going to keep that bench just a little bit shorter. Betsy wide open. Long rebound tipped out to Hickman. Slipped down to Bandego. Betsy open again. Second time's the charm for the freshman.
Yeah, he hunts those shots. He will ball fake at the three-point line to move the defense because he wants to shoot that basketball. And Wes Miller, being a three-point shooter himself, doesn't mind it. He wants three-pointers to fly.
Well, Kyle Brown lost his shoe after the make. They stopped the play, and then they're going to call the timeout. So 3.5 to go in the first half. A 3 from Tyler Betsy brings us to break with the Bearcats up by 13. Kelsey, you have anything?
Let's work together to crush cancer and continue to make Cincinnati the best place to live, work, and really enjoy life. Bearcats fans, it's time to
sorry, it seems like my mic keeps going in and out, but anytime Mitchell does something well, if we want to try and squeeze in the Mitchell film study, we can.
Walk by the bench and say, bench, not the bench, excuse me.
What do you want me to say?
Walk by the bench and say, Mitchell, would you do something so we can spotlight you?
Yeah, 2 points, 1 of 5 from the field isn't doing it. Yeah, let's do that. One of the male cheerleaders looks like Jack Langan. I thought it was him.
Which one?
That guy. Does he? Looks just like him.
Thank you.
For all we know, it's Brian Wilkins in the control room, and that is Jack Langan out there. Pulled the switcheroo. He does not have cowboy boots.
It's like she's feeling like she's ready to blow.
And Jack stopped coming anyway, so. figures to be a loaded Big 12 again. Here's the top 8 of the preseason poll. Kansas and Houston and Iowa State round out the top 3. Cincinnati picked 6th. Arizona also receiving a first place vote. One of the newcomers in the Big 12. 4 newcomers and 2 departures in the Big 12 this year. There's the bottom half. BYU, of course, lost its coach Mark Pope to the University of Kentucky. Arizona State a newcomer along with Utah and Colorado rounding out the bottom 2.
Utah has the Madsen twins, former Bearcats, on that squad.
They do. Christian Moore gets it across midcourt with 3.5 to go in the first half. Anthony Mazzini, Terry Nelson, Kelsey Conway with you for opening night of college basketball. Another excellent backdoor cut. That's pinned off the glass.
Wow.
Dante Sawyer thought he had an easy deuce, and Cincinnati, led by Aziz Bandaogo, got it on the top of the glass. And now they'll throw it up over the glass, and Bandaogo throws it down.
Was that Dylan Mitchell on the block shot? I mean, the recovery there, and then Bandaogo with the lob dunk. It's kind of hard to take away the roll with the opposite guy helping if you kick it to the corner for that 3.
Whoever got him, Mitchell, Bandaogo, both were there. It was one heck of a block. Moore, step back.
Bearcats looking to push. Yeah, Arkansas-Pine Bluff is starting to cool down a little bit from the 3.
Mitchell has the mismatch. He'll kick it out to Betsy. Yep, another 3.
And one thing that you learn about Mitchell, Mitchell doesn't force a lot of shots. He's a very intelligent player. He caught the back down, saw the help defender was cheating down, so he found the wide open Betsy for the 3.
It's been a quiet first half for Mitchell, just 1 of 5. So playing unselfish, finding the teammate. Brown trying to back down, and Bandaogo altered the shot.
Need a high-low action going on there.
Betsy's knocked down his last couple of shots. So has Lukosius, who has it now. And a reach against Reinhardt. Let's go back to that block a couple of moments ago.
I mean, you had 2 guys up there, but I think this is Mitchell that gets it with the left hand.
You're right.
Off of his back, scooped up by Connor, and then the lob dunk for Aziz Bandaogo, the 2nd of the night. You reward the big man. The big man's not going to catch you on the block and give you a jump hook or anything like that, but he will get you layups and he will get you dunks, especially on that roll, and he finishes for the Bearcats as he comes out of the game.
I thought it was Bandaogo because it looked like more of a natural angle for him to get it. That's one heck of a block for Mitchell to reach across his body and get it. I want to make sure he gets the credit. Dylan Mitchell got that block, but Aziz Bandaogo got the points. And Lukosius at the line after the reach foul against Reinhardt. Second chance, Mitchell corrals the rebound on the miss. Mitchell grabbed and going to the line.
The in and out cross.
Now coming up at halftime, 1:33 away. Kelsey will talk to Wes Miller going into the locker room, and then a sit down with Wes Miller. Cincinnati at the Big 12 Media Day, and first half highlights and stats from Arkansas-Pine Bluff in Cincinnati.
It's a guy that Wes Miller is really high on. He talked about Dylan Mitchell, about how versatile he is. He can legit guard 1 through 5. He's not your typical power forward, if there's such thing in college basketball anymore, with positionless play, as he misses both free throws. Maybe he is a power forward.
Now, Kelsey, you have some information on Dylan Mitchell.
Yeah, guys, after Dylan Mitchell's press conference, he said it was the longest film study he's ever been a part of at his team, when Wes Miller led a 3-hour film study after the team didn't play up to standard against Pittsburgh in their preseason scrimmages. And today, before the game, I asked Wes Miller, well, how did you keep their attention for 3 hours? Did you give them cell phone breaks? And he said, no, but they were allowed some bathroom breaks.
Thank you, Kelsey. 3 hours, certainly a long time for a film session. Foul down low. The fans here don't like it. And a foul nonetheless. There's Mitchell there, who hasn't had the best of games in his Cincinnati debut so far. And got called for that foul.
He lost the ball. And that's a play on. Wes Miller doesn't like it. The fans don't like it. Arkansas-Pine Bluff loves it.
Mitchell so far just 2 points, 1 of 6. He has 4 rebounds, missed both free throws. Wes Miller told us it's going to be a little bit sloppy. It's going to be a little bit messy at Mitchell before it gets better, because they're asking him to do some different things in his first year at Cincinnati than he was asked to do at Texas. It's going to take him a little bit of time, and he told us just stay calm, be patient. It's all going to work out once he gets comfortable.
Yeah, he also said we're asking him to do stuff he hasn't been asked to do before.
Wraparound pass to find him here from Skillings. The kick out all the way over to Lukosius.
What ball movement. Unselfish play by the Bearcats. You had a layup. Instead of taking a layup, you kick it out. Instant, quick hit to the corner to your 41% knockdown shooter in Simas Lukosius.
The lead has ballooned up to 20 now after Arkansas-Pine Bluff had it within 8.
Look at that ball movement.
Okay.
Good cut to the baseline, knocked away though, and out of bounds. Dumont couldn't handle it. Will stay at this end.
I mean, this ball whips around the perimeter, and Skillings throws it underneath, and Dillon doesn't take a bad shot. Quick kick over there by Jizzle James, and the 3 gets knocked down.
13 seconds to go in the first half. Vuga got caught in the air, and a wild shot.
Dan Skillings doing his Spider-Man impersonation.
5 seconds to go. Cincinnati will try for one last shot. Jizzle James. You bet! Right at the buzzer to send the teams to the locker room.
And Skillings
I was happy with the way we started the first half, but he said we've really got to start defending better. He said them shooting 60% isn't good enough, and I said, how do you claw back and get back into this game? And he said, 1 possession at a time.
Thank you, Kelsey. They couldn't get it on that possession there. Christian Moore had it blocked up top by Aziz Bandego. A couple players slow getting back in the play. Mitchell forced that pass a little bit, still found its way to Skillings, and the Bearcats regroup with 17 to shoot.
1-2-2 zone now.
Mitchell wide open in the corner. And Terry, you have to wonder if that zone look, number 1, just to give Cincinnati a different look, but number 2, a lot of players with some foul trouble in that first half.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out something that will stop all the penetration, keeping guys in angles and make them defend an area instead of just defending a man because they're getting blown by.
Here's Brown, hand off to Lewis, who's one of those players in foul trouble. 3 in the first half for Robert Lewis. Out to Reinhardt. Good closeout by Mitchell. 3 to shoot. Reinhardt has to shoot it. That's going to be short. Good defensive stand for Cincinnati.
How about Aziz Bandego on the ball defense? Let him know you cannot take me. He slid his feet, made him kick it out. And then Dillon Mitchell didn't go for the pump fake, made him shoot a desperation 3 that airballed.
An early sub. Dumont comes in. Reinhardt is out.
And this is the defense that Wes Miller wanted to see. Guys taking on the individual challenge. He always talks about having some Bearcat pride. Don't let a guy just continue to wear you out.
There's Bandego. Hand off to Lukosius. Floater, yes. So he adds to his game high, now 12 for Simas Lukosius.
Only the ball floats. He never elevates off the ground when he shoots that floater. It's sneaky because you don't know if he's going to throw a lob or he's actually trying to make a basket.
Brown, good turnaround, didn't get it to go down. Very skilled in that post for Arkansas-Pine Bluff. Skillings got fouled. That shot will not count on the floor.
I mean, watch this. He likes to catch that little wipe. Look, he's barely off the ground. The block shot by Aziz Bandego. They're coming out in transition. The kick ahead, they like to get it to the wings above early. It's okay, you wanted to show some action there.
Lob out to Bandego. Mitchell dumps it down to Skillings, but that's defended well by Vuga. Here comes Moore, look at the speed, turning on the Jets, and he lays it off to Bolton. He got it pinned, but got it back for 2. Second time we've seen one pinned right off the glass.
I was having Kenyon Martin flashbacks.
Bolton still got it to go. He was also in foul trouble in the first half.
Skillings.
Lukosius double teamed. Skillings the open man. Drive by, floater. Bandego to the offensive glass. A flyby. Not there for Lukosius. Skillings is there for the rebound and the lay-in. Third chance and the points for Dan Skillings.
You average 7 rebounds a game. You lead your team in points and rebounds last season. And one of those reasons is he's a very good offensive rebounder, very opportunistic.
That's going the other way. Vuga, the moving screen. Well, we'll start with the block. I mean, Bandego, second time he's pinned it. Bolton, good awareness to get it back. And then Skillings, you mentioned it, Terry, the offensive glass.
I mean, he just used that 7'3" wingspan to tip the ball to himself, gather, and put it up with the offhand.
Now, Skillings last year, you mentioned, led the team in points and rebounds, the first in Cincinnati to do it since 2011 with Yancey Gates.
And that was Yancey's junior year.
And now Skillings in his junior year, maybe even bigger things to come. Nice defense from Vuga. Knocked that pass out of the air.
Yancey's senior year, he averaged 14 points, actually 13 points, but it was Kilpatrick that led the team in scoring that year. That's why he didn't repeat in that manner.
There's James, 8 to shoot for the Bearcats. Sizing up Moore. Hopping into the lane. Moore with the really good defense, but it's tipped out back to James. On the lob, the one-handed flush for Bandego.
Jizzle James loves the mid-range, and people thought he was going to get his own rebound and go back up with the mid-range and just throws it at the rim, and Bandego one-hand tomahawks it.
It's almost automatic when you got Bandego down there. And Sawyer, who's had a lot of really good backdoor cuts in this game, couldn't hold on to that one.
I mean, Jizzle James just got his own rebound, pokes it away, throws it up, looks, and Aziz just grabs it out of nowhere. He points up and says, just throw it up to the rim, I'll get it.
That's 7 foot right there. This one to Mitchell, a little too far away, but still the Bunnies and the Dukes.
Quiet for Mitchell. You saw him here versus Ohio State in the exhibition game. He was 6 for 6. Not as efficient today. However, the shots have been right at the rim.
Dumont is going to go to the line when we come back. Cincinnati has opened it up to a 29-point advantage. Mitchell, the most recent dunk to have the Bearcats point advantage over the Golden Lions. Here are 2 of them, Dan Skillings and Aziz Bandego, both with 11 points, Terry, and chipping in other areas as well.
It looks like Dan Skillings looked like his last year's production right now, but more efficient right there. I love the way that the Bearcats are passing the ball and using each other. Same with Arkansas-Pine Bluff. They're just not making shots. The defense of the Bearcats are scrambling, and the Golden Lions are doing what they need to do to get the shots that they have to make the first shots. They're shooting a lower percentage because the Bearcats are scrambling, but they're getting the looks that they want.
With Dumont at the line, we go down to Kelsey.
2 different timeouts tonight. Guys, I've heard Wes Miller emphasize ball screen defense. It's what he's really looking to see from his team as this game continues.
And just as Kelsey was told at halftime when talking to Wes Miller, it wasn't the offense, it was the defense that he wanted to see improve in the second half. So no surprise that he's emphasizing the defense with the sizable advantage.
Yeah, Wes Miller is no respecter of persons. He gets on the star players just as much as he gets on the 12th and 13th guy on that roster. You've seen that shot right there of him getting on Dan Skillings.
A contest, Vuga gets called for the foul. It's a tough assignment with Bandego down there.
Well, they tried that play several times, that cross screen. The ball goes to one side, the defense moves, and they try to get it underneath for the layup and dunk. They threw the ball away several times because they threw the pass too early while the defense was still at an advantage until the offense can actually get there and seal and catch the ball. This time it was effective.
Bolton back in for the Golden Lions.
He's going to hire a shooting coach. I know Wes Miller, he's going to find something. If they win this game at the rate that they're going right now, it's going to be a pretty sizable margin, but he's not going to be happy with the free throws.
And with that most recent miss, Cincinnati is kind of shockingly 1 for 9 at the line. All the way to the cup and one Lukosius. And we'll see if he can change the fortune at the charity stripe.
There was a Catching White, puts that big body, gets whacked across the head. Oh, Soprano style. I mean, oh my goodness. Remember that 83 team from Georgetown that won the national championship? 83 or 85, one of those two. Or they had the black cloud over the rim with Patrick Ewing and Reggie Williams. They shot like 45% from the free throw line, but they still won the national championship because they were just more dominant than every other team. This Bearcats team is not going to be more dominant than the teams in the Big 12. They're going to have to do every little thing correctly. They're picked 6th. Kansas is number 1. You got 5 teams in the top.
3 in the top 5, 5 in the top 10.
5, 6 in the top 10, with the Bearcats being at 6th in the top 10. Unbelievable. And then the guys that are not, and the teams that are not in the top 10 can very well be in the top 10 at some point during the season.
Well, a delay on the court here as Bolton just fouled out with 15.5 to go in the second half. I mean, Terry, it's just one of those things that you're already a little bit undermanned, and you had to keep Bolton out there for as long as you could. They just couldn't keep him out of foul trouble in this game tonight. So you kept playing him and just live with him and die with him, and he fouls out early in the second half.
Well, the Golden Lions, this is not a representation of what you're going to see from them. This is just basically sheer numbers for the Bearcats. They're bigger, they're stronger, more talented, and they're scrambling. And Arkansas-Pine Bluff is just, they kept it close for a while, then the Bearcats just turned it on.
And just like Cincinnati, Terry, they're finding what works for them, too. We mentioned it in the first half, we showed all the lost production. You lose 67 points per game, that's tough to overcome. So they're trying to find the right puzzle pieces, too. Nice piece down there could potentially factor in. That's Dennis Osoro, who's a Columbus, Ohio native, so getting a little bit closer to home. James wide open, everything just opened up for him.
Fans wanted him to tomahawk that one behind. He's got some spring in those legs.
Well, good to see Osoro get out there for the Golden Lions, playing close to home. Have to wonder if any family or friends could make the 2-hour trek down from Columbus to see him play. Had a nice little move on the block a moment ago. That time it's poked away by Lukosius, 2-on-2.
Nice pass.
Mitchell!
Oh my!
Clear the runway for Dylan Mitchell.
I saw that one open up as soon as I saw the late run. I said that was going to be from behind. Oh, that was impressive.
And a hard foul at the other end.
Watch, you got Connor pulling the defense with him to the left, flattening it out, and all of a sudden he throws a behind-the-back pass to Mitchell, who goes up. YouTube Dylan Mitchell, and you'll find out that this guy has been doing this for a long, long time. The high flyer, transferred from Texas, McDonald's All-American.
Well, don't YouTube him yet. Wait for that one to go on the mixtape, Terry. Wait a couple of days.
I don't know. Hey, our guys in the production booth may have already have one at the beginning, end of this game that can go on YouTube as well.
Well, that foul was against Lukosius. Poked away again. He gets it back to Mitchell again.
Oh,
and
wow.
that time he had the fancy lay-in. He can do it all.
But the unselfish Bearcats, Jizzle James normally would take that and dunk that in. He gives it up to Simas, and Simas says, let's just give it back to Dylan Mitchell, let him do what he does.
A crafty freshman, Jones. Second try didn't go. That's off the mark for Palger. Another freshman, and it's cleaned up by Lewis for the Golden Lions.
Yeah, Mitchell couldn't jump because he had guys all over his head as he was trying to get that rebound. Still scrapping the Golden Lions.
Solomon Bozeman getting a little bit deeper in the bench. Well, Jor, the freshman, is in. Jones as well. Hickman short for 3, and Page the rebound. Trying to reward the big fella for the O board. Couldn't get it. Out of bounds going the other way. Well, Mitchell with the hard slam and then contorting his body here with this finish.
I mean, look at it. The ball knocked out of his hand as he was jumping. Still had the presence of mind to put enough spin on it as he watches it as he's falling to the ground. Puts it up right on the square on the glass, and it kisses it and goes in.
Here's Osoro. Nice move again from Dennis Osoro.
Not bad defense there from Ayrton Payne, just a better offensive move.
Played 2 years at Hawking Community College. 6'8", 250 junior. likely to factor into that front court.
Oh, they're getting some good minutes out of him. Maybe this is the time that he can show that he deserves more of some burn. Practice habits probably got to get better.
Step back, Betsy, in and out. Page, the one-handed rebound, had it knocked away by Palger. And a foul. Skillings couldn't get it in.
How many times have Dan Skillings went into a crowd that already had a rebound, fought, grabbed the rebound away from the guys that were tipping it, and put it back up, either making the basket or a chance at the free throw line?
I think it was a rhetorical question, Terry, but I'll answer for you. Quite a few.
I told you he's a greedy scorer. He gets it any way that it comes, and he's turning nothing down but his collar.
Now the jump from year 1 to year 2 for Skillings was sizable. 5 points, 3 rebounds as a freshman. Last year, 13.6 rebounds. Big 12 honorable mention. And a good season opener tonight. Rattles in the second free throw for now 13 points, 8 boards for the junior.
Yeah, but you almost forget about Skillings. This team is so deep, you forget until he gets his hands on the basketball and makes plays.
Jones picked up the dribble, needs help. That was deflected. Hickman dives on it, taps it to Page. He was rearing back to throw it down, but Jones with the hard foul prevented it.
Is that going to be an intentional? They just call a common foul. Smart play. Don't want to give up the dunk, but look at Connor Hickman. He thought it was going to be a backcourt violation, so he doesn't go down for the ball. And Arrington Page goes up, ready to cock that thing back for the highlight film, and gets hacked on the arm.
Clean foul there. Well, that's kind of juxtaposition. I was going to say, yeah. What I meant to say was not anything egregious. They're not going to check it, but yeah, that was kind of juxtaposition, wasn't it? There's no clean foul.
Me and you will say that's a clean foul. The guy who gets hit is upset that he didn't get a flagrant.
What helped Caleb Jones from not getting it looked at is the way that Page cocked it back. Got most of the arm.
The Bearcats have this thing where they get points for certain hustle plays. Connor Hickman's going to get some points that they can redeem to take off for suicides at the end of practice or down in backs, 22s. Diving on the floor.
Jones, good hesitation. Block up top, but a foul before it on the drive. So Jones will head to the line.
Now, we talked to Coach Bozeman. They have a drill where all the coaches dive on the floor.
He was telling us, yeah.
I mean, watch that. He gets smacked on the arm there. But they have a play where all the coaches dive on the floor for loose balls to prove that they can do this. Now, they're young.
Yes.
So they're young enough to do this. But Christian Robinson, one of the assistant coaches, he dives on the floor. I'm telling you, those guys, man, you need ice baths after all this. For all you do, this bud's for you.
Well, we were joking around with Coach Bozeman. We said, Coach, you told us right when we started talking to you, you have a newborn daughter. You can't go home all worn down. You got to take care of your wife and newborn daughter. You can't be diving on the floor.
Yeah, you can't spend time in the training room when you're the head coach with a little baby.
Hey, sorry, honey, I'm going to be late today. I banged up my knee at practice. What do you mean you banged up your knee at practice?
Diving for a loose ball, trying to prove that I can still do it. It's the reason that you're sitting on the seat with a tie.
12 to go in the second half. Cincinnati up big. Page flashes to the rim, pivots, and throws it down. Now the Bearcats not getting cheated tonight in the dunk department.
The pivot, patience, catches it, throws it down with one hand, impressive. Oh, what a carry, got away with it.
Wraparound pass to Lewis. He was at the center of that on the ball, diving on the floor.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And he puts that one in. He was the player that Coach Bozeman told us didn't dive. They pulled him from the practice to practice diving on the floor, and they didn't have to tell him twice, and he kind of started that trend.
Well, he got to finish all his meals. If he ate an M&M, you can see it go down his chest. He got to continue to put the pounds on there.
Skillings couldn't get it. Page also couldn't. Out to Hickman. Yes.
He shot that like Steph Curry. As the ball was in the air, he started running back the other way to get back on defense.
Jones loses it. Betsy kept it from going out of bounds, and Jones tries to keep it at this end, and he will. Nice effort from the freshman Caleb Jones.
But I love the effort on both teams. This is great basketball in the moment. The Bearcats are on a roll.
Congratulations, Cincinnati runs on Duncan.
All right, Bearcat fans, it's time for Splash for Cash. All thanks to our friends at Riley Decker. I'm down here on the court right now. He's got 30 seconds on that clock. Every shot that he can make, he's going home with $100. For a chance to take home £1,000. Are you ready? Ready. All right, as many threes as you can in 30 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. All right, Bearcat fans, let's talk about that one for $100. Can you make it 2 for $200? Going for 3. There you go, Kyle. That's $300. He has a chance to go home with $1,000. All thanks to our friends at Riley Decker. There we go, and another one. On a roll. How much time do we have? In 5, 4, 3, 2. Can he make one? Take it back to play Splash for Cash. Thanks to our friends at Riley Decker. Awesome job.
Well, it has not gone Arkansas-Pine Bluff's way, but Solomon Bozeman is still one heck of a bright and young coach. But Kelsey, they have another young coach that's raising eyebrows on that staff.
One of the most interesting things Solomon Bozeman said was the story about one of his grad assistants, Chris Green. And I had a chance to talk to a couple of the players and coaches on the Golden Lion staff about Chris Green. And the story here is that as a young coach, he is trying to work his way into the coaching industry. And when he's not coaching, he's working at Walmart. So he picks up a shift at Walmart from 4 to 11. And Solomon Bozeman told us he is in the gym getting ready for practice and the workday the next morning by 6 a.m. And when I talked to some of the players and coaches on the staff, they said it's really motivating to see the way he works. And I said, well, what exactly does he do at Walmart? And he said, similar to how he is as a coach, he does everything. He works the cash register. He unloads things. He does everything. And they say it's exactly telling of the type of coach he is. He wants to do whatever he can to get himself going in the coaching industry.
That's absolutely incredible. Great story. Wishing the best to Chris Green as he continues his coaching journey. And I mean, what an inspiration. And it's, you know, Coach Bozeman talked a lot about how it's a family. His brother is on the staff when he was at Oral Roberts. That was a big family. Everything was about togetherness. And they found Chris Green when he was a player, saw him at Cleveland State, and now on the coaching staff at Arkansas-Pine Bluff, and really a big part of that family as well.
A testament to anybody that wants it. I mean, you talk about a guy who doesn't expect anything to be handed to him. I mean, he could easily try to find something else that was paying. He's not doing it. He's not getting paid for this. He is there. He is dedicated. He's going from that shift that he's taken, getting there at 5:30 for that 6 o'clock practice. First one in the gym, last one leaving, going to Walmart. I mean, he's getting no sleep. And right now, while you're young, it's the time to do it because you don't have a family right now. So you can do the sacrifices necessary to get to where you want to go in life. Lesson learned. Coach wanted to make sure that you and I talked about this over the air because he's so proud of this young man.
Yeah, best of luck to him and the rest of the coaching staff. You just heard the crowd erupt a moment ago. Rayvon Griffith has come into the game for Cincinnati. His first regular season action as a Bearcat. He redshirted last year, number 3 in white. Turnaround for Vuga doesn't go, and Sawyer, who's played a really good game tonight, got the rebound and got fouled.
Rayvon Griffin is a guy that went to Taft High School locally, transferred his senior year to Compass Prep, played in the national championship game versus Tyler McKinley, who was out this year redshirting with an injury to the knee. And Tyler McKinley's team got the better of that game in the championship, came last year, redshirted, put on some pounds, been on the scout team and did so well. And West believes this man's going to be a player.
And for those unfamiliar with the Cincinnati area, the reason it was such a loud ovation, because Taft is right in the Cincinnati area, greater Cincinnati area. So these fans familiar with Rayvon Griffith already, and now finally seeing him in action.
It's one thing to recruit talent. It's another thing to recruit winners. As a junior, led his team, Taft, to a state championship, head coach by DeMarco Wright. Bring them back. He goes to a prep school, leads them to the national title, losing in that national title game, coming to the Bearcats. Wes Miller wants talent, but he also wants winners.
Added bonus, it's local talent.
Yes.
Out to James, catch and shoot.
Look at
Another
that.
rebound for Skillings. Griffith. Tipped out to Griffith. He'll take it inside this time.
You got 2 shots on that one.
Soro grabbed the rebound, but there was a whistle. With all the commotion, everybody hoping that Griffith could get his first bucket, and instead he'll try to do it at the line.
I know his mom Felicia is so proud of him. She posts a picture every day on Facebook about her baby. She is so proud of this young man, where he's come from, what he's doing. I mean, he is the guy that comes early, really works on his game, never complains, never gives coach any headaches, always where he's supposed to be. That comes from good parenting, and good parenting will lead to your son or daughter making great strides on the next level.
I'm sure you know that as well, with your son his freshman year at Bowling Green on the football team.
Yeah, I'm gonna make that trip tomorrow to Central Michigan. Man, that's a 5.5 hour trek, but
more power to you.
yes.
Well, let me ask you this, Terry. Where does Griffith fit? Because he's in a position where it's rather deep with Lukosius and Skillings and Mitchell and Frederick and a lot of guys in that wing mold, quote unquote. So where does he fit?
Well, it's a long year, and this thing will sort of settle itself. Right now, he's just outside of that top 10. And as he gets better with the three-point, oh, look at that step back right there. As he gets better with the three-point shot, he's going to work himself in there. Right now, you're probably looking at 3 to 5 minutes per game. That role that he's getting is going to expand as he continues to work harder in practice, continue to put the work in. You cannot class yourself to playing time. Don't care if you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior, or even grad assistant. You got to put the work in.
That was Christian Moore for Arkansas-Pine Bluff with the 3. And Griffith answers at the other end. So he got his points at the line, and now he has his first field goal with Cincinnati.
The beauty of the Bearcats team is when guys come in the game, they want to get them shots. So they're always looking for the guy. They're very unselfish. Nobody cares who scores. They see the bigger picture.
Moore, that's a long one. Rattles out. Now Skillings now has a double-double, 15 and 10 with that most recent board. Baseline drive, Skillings. Look at that layup. Wow. How did he scoop that up and in?
I said this last year, and I'm going to say it again. The best baseline college basketball player in the game.
Took him to the ice cream shop with that scoop. And he adds another rebound. He's gassed though, Terry. Look at him. It's taking him a while.
You see Wes Miller on the sideline saying, go, go, push it. He's like, let me give it to someone else.
Been a long stretch without a breather for both squads. Lewis has that rebound. And 7:40 to go.
Wes hits Skilling as he's going down the court saying, let's go, keep moving, let's go, move, move, move.
Here's a Soro backing down. He's had some good moves so far down there. Couldn't get that one to fall. Wes Miller continues to implore, go, push. I think Moore may have just smacked that one out of bounds for the benefit of both teams. Both sides will get some subs at the timeout. 7.5 to play in the second half. Moore, fancy handles, step back three.
Got him.
Want to see more of that. And Griffith, his first field goal as a Bearcat. Terry, we started the broadcast talking about the impact transfers, and they have showed out tonight. 8 for Mitchell, 7 for Page, 11 for Hickman, mostly with the 3 ball for Connor Hickman. Mitchell's done it inside, as has Page, and they've really looked like they've complemented that core that we talked about for Cincinnati returning this year.
Plugging in where the Bearcats lacked, and don't even forget about Tyler Betsy. He's got 2 threes on the night as well, so Rayvon Griffin came in, he's given a spark. Everybody who has been in the game has made an impact for the Bearcats, and that's what Wes Miller wants to see. As for Arkansas-Pine Bluff, their guys that are coming in are filling roles and trying to figure out where they settle in the hierarchy as far as shots being taken and how the plays are going to be ran for them.
Wide open under the basket. Bad defense there out of the timeout for the Golden Lions, and it leads to an easy 2 for Simas Lukosius.
Coach Bozeman will cut this up, show all the good things that are happening to the team. Look at the Bendago on the floor. Oh!
I don't know how that stayed in bounds, and I don't know how Cincinnati got it, but they did. And James with the lay-in. That is unbelievable.
Cincinnati basketball. Wes Miller appreciates it. He's the first guy in the stands clapping at half court for his team. Bendago's grabbing his knee. He's the first to the ground. And then Jizzle, and then he ends up getting the ball back and scoring.
Dumont, and he gets greeted by Bendago, but a foul during the shot.
Partner, look at this. Look at this. You got a 7-footer diving on the floor. Jizzle James, who's used to a scrum, Dad being a Hall of Famer, poked that ball out. He comes back into play, puts it up. Oh my goodness. Never get yourself out of the play. Bendago, first to the ground. Look, he's got a little floor burn now. He's looking at his hip. Take it, but Jizzle James, look at, he's built like a running back. He's built like his 3rd and 5, and you put him in after a timeout.
He's built like his brother, who plays running back at Howard in all-conference selection.
Yes. What a household. I mean, you got a football field in your backyard, a basketball court in your basement. Your kids are supposed to be doing what they're doing right now.
And a Hall of Fame gold jacket.
And a Hall of Fame gold jacket.
I'm just amazed that ball stayed in bounds.
I'm amazed that more than one guy went to the floor.
For both sides.
Yes.
Here's Griffith, 10 to shoot. Lewis, good poke away from the back. And a turnover for Mitchell. Now, Lewis has stayed out of foul trouble in this second half. Hasn't scored it a bunch, but he stayed on the floor. Dumont maybe got away with a walk, and Jones couldn't capitalize it.
Well, he got away with a walk because Aziz got away with a foul.
Give and take.
Yeah, he hip checked them.
Lukosius tried to dump it down. Bandego comes away with it. Griffith through traffic and one.
He's so good going to his right, taking the foul, readjusting in the air, and using the glass with the angle. This is the second time he's done this. Look at his upper body strength. Put on 15 pounds of muscle in the offseason from last year to this year. You know, his shot goes like in a hemispheric rotation. It goes left to right. He worked on it this summer, and it was a traditional shot. Didn't feel comfortable, went back to the results-based shooting. Doesn't look good when it goes in the air, but it looks great when it goes through the net.
So Griffith takes a seat, gets a well-deserved ovation.
That's great minutes.
You mentioned he put on 15 pounds of muscle in the offseason as his improvement. Did you study astrology and physics? Hemispheric rotation?
No, but I did sleep at a Holiday Inn, so I kind of understand this stuff.
I mean, you're coming up with new terminology. I mean, we didn't have this out of you last year.
I went to high school with Snoop Dogg. We make up our own language in Long Beach.
Long three for Lewis doesn't go, and tracked down by Mitchell in the corner.
For Shizzle. My Jizzle.
He's got it now.
Oh, look at the pump fake.
And Lukosius blows a kiss at the end.
I think that was for you. Just to let you know. Pretty soon you're going to see C.J. Anthony get in the game, and he's another knockdown shooter.
High arcing, Dumont too strong. Hickman trying to blow by Reinhardt. No look give to Mitchell.
Come on.
Oh, now they're just getting fancy.
Oh.
As they hit the 100-point mark for the first time in 2 years.
This is the end of practice when the coaches are always calling the timeout to reset your mentality, to tell you to finish strong.
Nice move inside by Jones on the spin.
Beautiful.
The program record for a home opener and the season opener is 113 against Cleveland State. 1972. So with more than 4 minutes to play in Cincinnati with 101, potentially on that trajectory. James trying to get small and get the baseline, and he's pushed by Asoro. As Cincinnati gets 4 subs at the table to make some changes here. One for Arkansas-Pine Bluff. It's Dante Sawyer, and the Bearcats will have Frederick, Page, Betsy, and Reed set to come in, but they'll have to wait for the free throw first from Jizzle James.
As unselfish as everybody is on this Bearcats team, nobody wants to come out of the game with 4 minutes to go when it's starting to loosen up a little bit, because you know your dunks start that a little bit easier. Transition opens up a little bit more. You know, you feel like at times you take the spirit away from the other team, and they just outman this Arkansas-Pine Bluff team. Picked to finish 10 out of 12 in the SWAC.
But I don't think it's fair to judge them on tonight. It's not fair to judge any team based on one game tonight, but especially a team like this when you lost so much a month before the season, you lose your point guard, and you're trying to figure it all out.
This team's going to shock some teams because they just continue to play. And you got a coach and a staff that's young, that's hungry, and they're going to build into the talent that they have. You can only play with what you have.
And as we've seen in the second half, the contributions from Jones, Asoro, I think there are some players that maybe Solomon Bozeman didn't expect to contribute as much that he's learning tonight.
Well, plus you get, I asked him the question, in the land of NIL and collectives, how do you build a team when you don't have the resources that the power forwards have? He said it's relationships. He had to go to junior college, he had to go to the portal, and he's got to find things that work for him. He likes speed, he wants three-point shooting, he wants toughness. Yes, you're playing these games to try to grab some money for your budget. At the same time, you're trying to build the character of these young men and build your program.
Download a page after the nice shot from Sawyer. And Frederick rattles that one in. The catch and shoot, lockdown shooter nails another one.
Yeah, but notice the pass. Arrington Page on one side. The defense collapses and shades the middle because they don't want to concede the basket. He throws a hook pass from the screen from Tyler Betsy for a three-pointer for CJ. This is awesome.
That'll be Bearcats basketball when we come back. Bearcats more than 100 tonight. Specific here, Trevor? Anything specific coming out of this, or? Sounds good. Okay. Wes will tell you they didn't.
Well, you mentioned that it was going to be sloppy early, which it was, and they cleaned it up.
Is that an overall record or just a season home opener record? Well, the fans are loving it, and I have a feeling they might be loving this team all year if the expectations match the results on the floor. Cincinnati, number 20 in the country in the preseason AP poll. First time in 7 years they're ranked to begin a season. They return 6 of their top 8 scorers, top half of the Big 12 in the preseason poll. Now, Wes Miller, the coach that we know, the person we know, he's going to say that maybe they didn't meet those expectations tonight, but I think from the average viewer like us, Terry, I'd say it's pretty fair to say that they met those expectations in game one.
They did, but to Wes's credit, he's trying to let you know that I'm not impressed. Like, you're supposed to do this. Like, the expectations were set, being a top 20 team for the first time since 2017-18. So they expect to do this. At the same time, he's going to look back and see some good things. He's going to clean it up. But he's got to be impressed with the guys that he put in the bench. I mean, he's played 11, 12 so far, and they've all been productive.
Page shuffled the feet there on the baseline, but he gets grabbed. So he'll go to the line for 2. And again, if you're just joining us, if you missed it before the timeout, Cincinnati approaching a season home opening program record for points, 113 against Cleveland State back in the 1970s. The overall record for most points in a game, got to go back to the 1950s against North Texas State, 127. So likely not going to get that tonight. But
how do you get 127 when the shot
no
clock wasn't even
line.
around? No three-point line, no shot clock. 127.
And that would have been, I believe, before Oscar Robertson's day, right?
Man, you playing with a bunch of guys that was checking into. Uh-oh. You got some bounce to him.
We'll see it. We saw it. Not going to use it very much, but when he has his chance, he'll throw it down.
How about Connor Hickman? He's been wanting one of those.
Jones lost it on the spin. Well, that's something that Wes Miller will certainly be pleased with. Arkansas-Pine Bluff in the first half at 32 points. They only have 22. And much less efficient, more turnover prone in this second half. The defense is clamped up.
This is what Rayvon worked on while he was redshirting last year.
Too strong
worked on the post up.
And Reinhardt has the rebound with 1.5 minutes to play in Cincinnati. Bearcats will start the year 1-0. Now, Terry, you said we might see it.
The poke away. And he goes up and he makes sure the student section lets him know, I do this. A young fellow, he's out of breath. I'll tell you what, it takes a lot to jump up here and throw one down. He'll catch you too. He likes to try to go up and see if he can catch you slipping.
Well, he had a funny quote before the season started. He said they don't really expect it out of a guy my size with a comb over. But every now and then he'll put one in. That's what you called it, Terry. Shuffle the feet. That's like, you give me another 6 inches, that's like me going out there and dunking. And I couldn't picture that, so I have a feeling that all the fans here certainly didn't expect that either.
They did not. 12 players the Bearcats have played tonight.
Yeah, and one of them is Halvin Zella, who just got his eligibility cleared early this week. And you see him there hovering over Josh Reed, who dove on that loose ball. Halvin Zella is a Frenchman. He played on the French youth national team program, 6'10", 225, and there was speculation about whether or not he would play this year. Kind of a project for Cincinnati.
I'm a little shocked that he's playing today, but as Wes talked about, you got to develop your bench because you're going to need these guys in tough games. Not just the Big 12, but you got Xavier, you got Dayton, you got
Georgia Tech,
Villanova.
And if there's one area, Terry, on this team, is that one goes out of Zella's hands and out of bounds. If there's one area, I don't want to say a weakness, but less depth than other areas, it is that front court. You're deep at guard. You're deep at that wing forward guard spot. That forward spot, center spot, you could use a little extra in there.
They got to develop him because, first of all, Houston plays like somebody stole their mom's car. They just beat you up, you know. Kansas just restocked. And they got Darren Peterson, I'm sorry, who's a #3 player out of Akron. I coached his dad, Darrell Peterson. He just signed. He's the #1 shooting combo guard in the country. Kansas is stocked. So the Bearcats got to develop the guys that they have. And congratulations now to Arkansas-Pine Bluff on a competitive game.
Yeah, they kept it close early, but down the stretch, it got a little